All right. Good, everybody. Box back in the building. Back in here with another episode. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. We got my buddy here, Michael Bordenero, man. And he's talking about the classes, man. The poor, the lower middle class, the middle class, the upper middle class, and this, that, and the third. Go.
Today I thought it would be interesting to go over just how much money people actually need to feel comfortable in this country and kind of where everybody stands right now with the amount of wealth that they have.
Need a whole lot.
I've made a couple videos in the past talking about how you don't want to always be in comparison mode between what you have and what everybody else has, because then it's going to make it always feel like it's not enough. You're going to feel worthless. You're going to feel inadequate. So the purpose of this video is really just to kind of outline where people are today and also highlight the fact that almost no matter where you are on the wealth spectrum, it's never really enough. And for a while, everybody...
Okay, now that part right there, he told you the truth. He's not out of touch, okay? But he does touch on some things where you can tell he hasn't been struggling for a long time. He hasn't had to struggle for a long time. And there's a lot of people just like him, especially people who are in real estate, okay? They're kind of out of touch with poor people, all right? Go.
Everybody has been talking about how the middle class has been disappearing, you know? And the
Buddy, the middle class is gone, okay?
reality is that even people who used to be considered upper class are starting to feel the pinch, and often people who were upper class before are kind of being downgraded to middle class just due to the sheer cost of living. Nothing to do with them doing anything wrong or their wealth declining. It's just that everybody's wealth declines due to inflation. So no matter how much you have, it's going to buy less when inflation is a big issue like it is today. And by the way, I'm walking along the Tiburon Ridge Trail here in Tiburon, California, near Ring Mountain.
Nice
so in this
trail.
video, let's break down how the average American is doing when it comes to net worth. Now, first we have to talk about the difference between net worth versus income, because when most people think about social classes, they think about income, how much money you make every year. But the full picture is net worth, because you can have somebody that makes $300,000 a year who has a lower net worth than somebody who only makes $75,000 a year if they're just throwing away all that money and living paycheck to paycheck. Now, according to the Federal Reserve, there are 5 different wealth classes, and I will put the chart up here on the screen. And
buddy, there's only 2 wealth classes, man. Okay? You got the haves, and then you got the have-nots. That's it.
According to them, America has 5 wealth classes.
No.
The bottom 25% are people who have a net worth of $30,000 or less. Lower...
And listen, these people are beyond broke, right? Now he's suggesting that this bottom 25 somehow is supposed to wave a magic wand and double their income somehow. Somehow. And the lower middle class too. Somehow the lower middle class there is supposed to just wave a magic wand and double or somehow triple their income. I want you guys to pay close attention here.
Middle class is people who have $29,000 to $209,000 net worth. Upper middle class is $209,000 to $714,000, which, by the way, is the average net worth of retirees today. Upper class is $700,000.
Yeah, and those people are not buying nothing because they're retired.
$114,000 to $2.1 million in net worth. And then the wealthiest 10% is anybody who has a net worth of $2.1 million or more. Now, people who are in the bottom 25% are people who earn minimum wage, also people who are just finishing up college and are graduating with a mountain of student loan debt, and people who have just made poor financial decisions and have blown all of their money over the years. And if you find yourself in this wealth class, then your number one focus is usually going to be survival, as you're likely living paycheck to paycheck. And people in this category should be looking at stabilizing their income, increasing their income, getting out of debt, or at least reducing debt, and building up an emergency fund, because all three of those things are going to be what's going to help you to move up to the next rank, so to speak.
Really, buddy, I don't think you've looked around out here, bud. Okay? I mean, because that right there, what you just said, brother, is not going to happen. It's not going to happen in a million years. Okay? I mean, we're supposed to just wave a magic wand, bro, and double our income. When you got 3 million people that's been laid off this year or let go of their jobs, you got AI taking people's jobs. You got factories, you got industries closing their doors. I mean, we got big companies that's letting people go left and right. And you're talking about waving a magic wand, bro? I mean, what about reality, my friend? I mean, whatever happened to reality, bro? The reality is that we're all up a shit creek. Even the wealthy people are up a shit creek. They ain't buying nothing because they want to hold on to their money or they've got it all invested. And they're living paycheck to paycheck too. They're struggling to pay their bills. I know because I see them out here doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, driving around in their big ass SUVs, their big ass gas guzzlers, trying to run you off the road so they can make a little bit of money to pay their $800-900 light bill every month. I mean, come on, brother. Where are we at here?
Which is lower middle class. And by the way, it's not me defining this, it's all the Federal Reserve data.
It should be you, though. See, you shouldn't be this out of touch, bro. I mean, we got people who are well off and well to do and just completely out of touch with what's really going on, boots on the ground, so to speak.
And how they kind of gauge where people's finances are. Now, if you're
They don't know nothing, man. They're going off statistics. They don't care nothing about the poor or the lower middle class or the middle class period, which is gone bye-bye, by the way.
lower middle class, you're probably somebody who's slowly building up a retirement account, and
No,
you
you're
probably
not.
have a mortgage or multiple loans like car
Yeah, you're
payments or student
struggling.
loans, things like that. You are getting ahead in the world,
No, you're
but you
not.
are still very financially vulnerable in the sense that if one thing goes wrong, every
And one thing will go wrong. One thing has already gone wrong, brother. Every time you get your electric bill every month, every time you have to pay for insurance, every time you go to the grocery store or the gas station, bro. What are we talking about, bro? Look here, man. Let's let him keep going.
everything that you've built up to this point can easily go poof just like that.
And it
And people in
has.
this income range should be striving to save anywhere between 15 to 20% of their income.
Oh, oh, really? So how you going to do that, Berdusky? I mean, you got to pay for gas. You got to pay for insurance. You got to pay your electric bills. Okay? You got to pay your personal property taxes. What are we talking about, bro? Because ain't no money left over. That 15% you're talking about, I mean, if it's not coming out directly out of your paycheck and going straight into the 401k, bro, you ain't saving that, bro. You're talking about 10 or 15 years ago, bro, when you could actually do that. But people can't do that now. Like for real, for real.
For retirement as the goal. Now, if you are upper middle class, you are likely shifting your focus to a long-term financial independence outlook. Your retirement savings are growing at this point.
I mean, he's talking 20 years ago, bro. This was some shit that you could do 20 years ago. You can't do it now. I see these upper middle class people that he's talking about, and they're so far out of touch, bro. They think you can just snap your fingers and double your income. They think if you get laid off or if you get fired from a job, you can just go get another one like you used to could do 20 years ago. Okay? And even that crashed. Okay? We're talking 2005. When 2008 hit, man, I'm talking to people out here still trying to recover from 2008. I mean, what are we talking about here?
debt is more manageable, or maybe you're even out of debt at this point, and planning for taxes and your investments becomes a lot more important, because as your net worth grows, so does the amount of money you got to pay in taxes. Because even if you're putting money into Roth IRA accounts, well, guess what? You're paying the taxes up front. If you're putting into tax deferred accounts, you're paying it when you make the withdrawal. So one way or another,
Well, who's doing that? I want you guys to get up in the comment section and let me know, man. I mean, I need to know how many people is actually getting this accomplished right here. That's saving 15% of their income and that's investing money and that's buying Roth IRAs and whatnot. Because you got to have $5,000 up front to even open up a Roth IRA, man. So I mean, what are we talking about? Who's got $5,000 in laying around in the cushions of their couch right now? Okay, you don't even got 500 laying around because you just paid your light bill. So come on, man. I mean, what are we talking about here? It's the end of summer. People are still trying to pay off their light bills, their $1,200 light bills, especially if you got a big old house, man, 5 bedrooms, 6-car garage, and a big old pool in the back. Okay, so are we acting like that most people in America that's what they got? So why are we struggling? Why is the cost of everything so high if everybody is so well off here?
you're paying tax. So the more that you're saving for retirement, the more taxes you're going to pay in the long run. Now, if you are upper class, then this is where we're starting to get into millionaire territory.
I don't want to hear nothing about the upper class, bro, because the upper class is way out of touch. All right, they think everything's just fine out here. You know what I mean? So listen, we're gonna stop it right here, man. All right. Yep, we're gonna stop it right here. All right, folks. My bad. I accidentally hit the stop button a little bit too early on this one. But just to sum this up here, uh, look, graduate from college. All right. This is for college graduates. Unless you're coming out of there with zero debt and you're at least making $100,000 a year to start out with, and combine 200,000 if you got a spouse right out of college, which most people don't. That's what you're going to need with the prices the way they are nowadays. And even then, man, $100,000 ain't nothing, man. It ain't like it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. $100,000 was decent money. Nowadays, $100,000, man, you struggling. I'm just going to tell you right now, especially by yourself. All you can do is afford to pay rent, and that's it. A car payment. Struggling to get ahead. You need to be able to wave a magic wand, like he said, and double your income. If you're down 50,000 or less, man, you ain't making no money, man. You ain't making no money, man. I mean, you're basically poor. You're the working poor at $50,000 because it ain't no money. And that 29,000 he's talking about, these people shouldn't even be paying taxes. If you're making less than 30, you shouldn't even be paying taxes. Actually, if you make less than 50, you shouldn't even be paying taxes. Now we're the ones, because I'm in that category, less than 50. We're the ones who pay all the taxes. Now I know you guys $100,000, $150,000. Y'all pay a lot of taxes, and y'all do. And that's why I say this is an attack on the middle class, because you get up 200, $250,000, you're paying some serious taxes, man. Like for real, for real. But anyway, this is the ending to this video. That's all it is. So I need you guys to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All right. The boy Fartbox is on the road to 1,000 subscribers so I can get monetized, man. I can start making $100,000 from Google. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what it is. Love you guys, man. I love bringing you guys this content. I love bringing you guys the reality of it. Okay. Now, Michael seems to be a little bit out of touch here. I'm sorry to have to say that, but it just is what it is. All right. Hit that like button and subscribe. Okay. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.